May I interest you in some pumpkin spice spam?
Yes.
You can take it home with you if you want.
Since the beginning of his career, Billy Bob Thornton has been recognized for his unrefined talent, eccentric personality, and, of course, his relationships that kept Hollywood buzzing. Due to the fact that Thornton has been married 6 times, his romantic life has always been scrutinized meticulously. However, one marriage in particular, his whirlwind romance with Angelina Jolie, was the one that garnered the most attention. When they were at the pinnacle of their respective careers, their unexpected and peculiar marriage caught the attention of the media. However, only 3 years later, everything came crashing down around them. Now, after a number of years have passed, Billy Bob is finally confessing the true reason why he and Angelina Jolie decided to end their relationship. Come along with us as we make sense of Billy Bob's private life and discover the truth about what took place. Early struggles and humble beginnings are described. The 4th of August, 1955, found Billy Bob Thornton being born in the city of Hot Springs, Arkansas. He was raised in a humble shack that lacked both plumbing and electricity. During his childhood, he moved around to a number of different towns in Arkansas, including Alpine, Malvern, and Mount Holly. He was brought up by his father, William Raymond Thornton, who was a high school teacher and basketball coach, and his mother, Virginia Roberta, who claimed to be a psychic. His childhood was not exactly a glamorous one. The fact that Billy Bob was diagnosed with dyslexia not until much later in life was a major contributor to his academic difficulties, particularly in school. On the other hand, he discovered a love for athletics and eventually became a talented baseball player in high school. Additionally, he attempted to try out for the Kansas City Royals, but due to an injury, he was ultimately cut from the team. Thornton tried his hand at a variety of jobs after graduating from Malvern High School in 1973. One of the jobs he tried was laying asphalt for the Arkansas State Transportation Department. He attended Henderson State University for a brief period of time with the intention of majoring in psychology. However, he left the university after only 2 semesters because he made the decision to pursue a different path. This something would eventually bring him to Los Angeles in the middle of the 1980s, where he endeavored to make a living as an actor but was unsuccessful. While he was auditioning for roles, Thornton worked in a variety of industries, including telemarketing, fast food, and even offshore wind farming. He was working as a waiter at the time, and it was during this time that he became acquainted with the screenwriter and director Billy Wilder. The piece of advice that Wilder gave him, which would prove to be a pivotal moment in his professional life, was to investigate the possibility of screenwriting, a breakthrough, and a successful Hollywood career. The beginning of Thornton's acting career consisted of supporting roles in films and television shows. He made his debut on stage in the play Beethoven's Symphonies in 1987, and he also made an appearance in the thriller Hunter's Blood that same year. Other than that, he appeared in supporting roles in Matlock and South of Reno. But it wasn't until 1992 that he made his breakthrough with a single false move. He not only appeared in this movie, but he also collaborated with his longtime writing partner, Tom Epperson, to write the screenplay for it. Thornton's writing and acting abilities were recognized for their excellence in this gritty crime drama produced by him. The year 1996 marked Thornton's breakthrough with the film Sling Blade, which he not only starred in, but also wrote, directed, and directed. A mentally disabled man is the protagonist of this film, which is an expansion of a short film that he had made earlier. The film tells the story of a man who committed a horror murder. In addition to receiving praise from critics all over the world, Sling Blade was also successful enough to earn Thornton an Academy Award for Best Adapted Screenplay. In addition, he was considered for the award for Best Actor, and the movie cemented his position as a serious talent in the Hollywood industry. With the success of Sling Blade, Thornton's career took off, and he went on to star in a number of critically acclaimed films, including Armageddon, A Simple Plan, for which he received another nomination for an Academy Award, and Primary Colors. It was also with films such as Daddy and Them and All the Pretty Horses that he attempted to direct again. However, the latter film left him disillusioned with the art of directing because he was required to cut significant portions of the film. In 2003, he played the lead role in the dark comedy Bad Santa, which established him as a fan favorite for his ability to portray characters that are unconventional and edgy. As one of his most iconic performances appearances, Thornton even admitted to getting drunk while playing the role of the foul-mouthed mall Santa. This performance went on to become one of his most famous. With roles in films such as Friday Night Lights and The Alamo, Thornton's acting career continued to demonstrate its considerable strength. Additionally, he made his debut in the world of television, starring in the FX series Fargo in 2014. His performance as the psychopath Lorne Malvo earned him a Golden Globe Award for his work in the series. Another critically acclaimed performance that demonstrated Thornton's versatility as an actor was his performance in the 2016 film Goliath, in which he played the part of a lawyer who had been discredited by his profession. Billy Bob Thornton's personal life, particularly his high-profile fifth marriage to Angelina Jolie, became just as famous as his Hollywood roles, despite the fact that he was successful in his professional life. First things first, let's take a look at his private life. There was a rough beginning with Melissa Lee Gatlin. It was in 1978 when Billy Bob Thornton tied the knot for the first time with Melissa Lee Gatlin. Although there is not a lot of information that is available to the public about their time spent together, this relationship was the beginning of Thornton's complicated love life. In the month of June in 1979, they became parents to a daughter whom they named Amanda. We regret to inform you that their marriage did not last very long. In 1980, the couple decided to end their relationship. She filed for divorce, citing incompatibility and adultery on his part as the reasons for her decision. Because of this, Amanda spent the majority of her childhood separated from her father and was instead brought up by her mother. A number of years later, however, her story took a tragic turn. The death of her friend's daughter, who was only 1 year old, resulted in her receiving a sentence of 20 years in prison in the year 2008. Amanda was accused of being the person responsible for the death of the child, which brought attention to the case. Her legal team, however, argued that it was an accident. The legal team representing Amanda worked hard to demonstrate that she was innocent, with the assistance of the Innocence Project of Florida. She was finally released from prison in the year 2020, following the presentation of previously unknown evidence. To return to Thornton's marital life, the next thing that happened was that he had a brief romantic relationship with Toni Lawrence. In 1986, Thornton tied the knot for the second time, this time with the actress Toni Lawrence. It seemed as though Toni, who had roles in films such as Daddy's Deadly Darling and Soul Survivor, would be a good match for Billy Bob. Their marriage, on the other hand, was short-lived, lasting for only 2 years. While they were together, they did not have any children, and their relationship quickly deteriorated. Toni reflected on her ex-husband's statement that he is really talented, which is obvious now, but he is very troubled. She was thinking about their time together when she made this statement. Immediately following the breakup of her marriage, Toni went on to remarry and relocate to Los Angeles, where she settled into a more peaceful life as a potter. Even though they were only married for a short period of time, it is evident that the time they spent together had a significant and long-lasting effect on both of them. Cinda Williams, you are not a lover, but a friend. This was Billy Bob's third marriage, and it was to the actress Cinda Williams. Cinda Thornton, who was born in Chicago, became well known in Hollywood thanks to her roles in films such as Mo Better Blues and One False Move. Ironically, the latter film was Thornton's first attempt at writing a screenplay. Nevertheless, despite the fact that they worked together, there was not much of a romantic spark in their relationship. In the past, when Billy Bob was thinking back on their time together as a couple, he admitted that they were just friends and that they had no business getting married. After a marriage that lasted from 1990 to 1992, the couple decided to part ways amicably, despite the fact that their romantic relationship did not work out. Later in life, Cinda discovered happiness with Roderick Plummer, a film producer, and the two of them are now parents to a child together. It is clear that she has moved on from her brief marriage to Thornton because she frequently posts on social media about their life together during their time together. However, Billy Bob Thornton's marriage to Pietra Dawn Cherniak, a model for Playboy, is likely to be one of the most contentious chapters in his romantic history. Pietra Dawn Cherniak is the object of the fourth marriage. The couple tied the knot in 1993 and began their family with the birth of 2 sons, William and Harry, who were born within a year of each other. At first glance, their marriage appeared to be picture perfect. However, when they were alone together, things were not even close to being ideal. In 1997, Pietra submitted a petition for divorce, citing differences that could not be reconciled. It wasn't the most shocking part, though, was that. In addition, she filed a petition for a restraining order against Thornton, alleging that he had inappropriately treated her. Pietra stated that Thornton had physically assaulted her and that he had done so on multiple occasions, even in front of their children. In addition to describing a number of incidents, she stated that he had punched, hit, and shoved her previously. The allegations, on the other hand, were categorically rejected by Billy Bob. "Our marriage was not perfect, but I never exhibited the behavior she's accusing me of," he said in a statement. He also expressed concern for their sons, saying that they were the ones who would suffer the most from the divorce and the accusations. He said that he was concerned for them. In spite of his denials, the damage had already been done. The relationship ended, and Thornton went on to marry other people. However, this chapter continued to cast a shadow over his personal life. And then there was his relationship with Angelina Jolie, a romance that nobody saw coming but that everyone couldn't stop talking about anyway. Billy Bob Thornton and Angelina Jolie's wild love story. Angelina Jolie, who was already an A-lister at the time, had dated a number of famous faces. However, it was her unexpected marriage to Billy Bob Thornton in the year 2000 that truly captured the attention of the entire world. At the time that Billy Bob Thornton met Angelina, he was already engaged to the actress Laura Dern. Furthermore, the two had been together for more than 2 years, sharing a home and making plans for their future together. But that all changed when Thornton and Jolie crossed paths on the set of the 1999 film Pushing Tin. Their chemistry was undeniable, both on screen and off. At the time, Jolie had just come out of a marriage with Johnny Lee Miller, and Thornton was very much taken. On the other hand, sparks flew regardless. The movie, which was about a couple dealing with the aftermath of an affair, seemed to mirror what was going on behind the scenes. Thornton and Jolie quickly became close to one another, and their connection eventually turned romantic. Before anyone knew it, Thornton left Laura Dern and his engagement was over. Dern later said, "I left our home to work on a movie, and while I was away, my boyfriend got married, and I've never heard from him again." It was as sudden as it was shocking. In May 2000, just months after they met, Jolie and Thornton stunned the world by getting married in a Las Vegas ceremony. It wasn't the grand, glamorous Hollywood wedding you might expect. Instead, it was casual and low-key, with Jolie pulling her hair back and keeping it simple. Despite its understated nature, the wedding caught everyone by surprise, especially Laura Dern, who had been engaged to Thornton up until that point. They were eccentric, unconventional, and deeply in love. While the majority of Hollywood couples of the time were all about giving public displays of affection and having romantic dinners, Jolie and Thornton took things to a whole new level. From that point on, the couple became the center of attention. One of their most talked about peculiarities was the fact that they wore vials of each other's blood around their necks. This only added to their mystique, which was a love that was unlike any other. The couple's love for each other was intense, and at times it was almost overwhelming. They were wild, unpredictable, and didn't care what anyone thought. Immediately following their wedding, they purchased a house in Beverly Hills that had been owned by Slash, the guitarist for Guns N' Roses. The house was enormous, with 9 bedrooms and even a recording studio. However, despite the fact that it was such a grand space, the couple was not known for spending a lot of time there. Despite the fact that they were frequently traveling or working on a variety of projects due to their busy schedules, the purchase of the home appeared to be a sign that they were ready to settle down together. Their passionate relationship was on full display at public events. One of the most memorable moments occurred during the premiere of Gone in 60 Seconds in June of the year 2000. As they walked the red carpet, they couldn't keep their hands off each other and passionately kissed in front of photographers. Thornton did not hold back when asked about their most exciting moment in a car during an interview with MTV. Without any hesitation, he disclosed, "I believe it was today that we F in the car on the way here." This level of transparency regarding their relationship was what set them apart from other Hollywood couples. And it was this transparency that kept the public fascinated. Their relationship was full of surprises. Throughout the course of their relationship, Jolie and Thornton continued to surprise people with their eccentric behavior. In December of 2000, Thornton gave an interview in which he addressed some of the rumors that were circulating about them. One of the most notable stories had to do with the couple allegedly exchanging pants. "I did wear my wife's knickers while working out in the gym one day, and a guy saw it, but I don't wear my wife's knickers every day. I wear it occasionally." Thornton clarified that the rumor was not completely false, but it had been blown out of proportion. He explained that I did wear my wife's knickers. Their relationship continued to make headlines as they spoke about the depth of their love for each other. In an interview with US Weekly, the couple shared details about the Beverly Hills home they had purchased and revealed that they had installed a padded room where they would go when their love for each other became too intense. Jolie described how their connection affected her, saying, "It's amazing that we actually leave the room ever. And then I just feel like I'm on fire. And I didn't know that I could feel that through my entire body. I feel so complete and safe and warm and in love. After that, I feel like I'm falling apart." Her sentiments were echoed by Thornton, who admitted that the level of intimacy that we experience is almost too intense. However, did you know that their romance was just as wild? One of the most memorable aspects of Billy Bob Thornton and Angelina Jolie's relationship was their famous blood vials. In July 2001, the media went into a frenzy when it was revealed that the couple wore necklaces containing each other's blood. The story became so exaggerated that people started imagining the couple walking around with buckets of blood hanging around their necks. In a later statement, Thornton clarified the situation by stating that it was much less complicated than that. He suggested that we poke our fingers with a pen and smear a little blood on them. Additionally, when we are away from each other, we will wear the necklace. Even though it wasn't as dramatic as the media made it sound, the idea still symbolized how intense and unique their relationship was. Their romance was wild, eccentric, and unlike any other. While other Hollywood couples at the time were more traditional, Jolie and Thornton pushed the boundaries of what people expected about their relationship. They were not shy about showing their love for one another, and their unpredictable antics kept the public fascinated. The blood necklaces were just one part of the whirlwind that was their relationship. By March of 2002, Jolie and Thornton were getting ready to take a significant step in their relationship by adopting a child together. They had their sights set on Maddox, a Cambodian boy who was 7 months old at the time. Jolie had already announced their decision to adopt, and everything appeared to be moving forward. However, as their relationship began to fall apart, their plans shifted. She later clarified that Thornton had nothing to do with the adoption, and he has never publicly commented on the situation. Around the same time, rumors of infidelity began to circulate. Jolie adopted Maddox as a single parent after the couple chose to end their relationship. According to some reports, Thornton was seeing a therapist for sex addiction, and it was alleged that he slept with the therapist. Though neither Thornton nor Jolie ever confirmed or denied the rumors, the gossip only added to the tension in their relationship. Jolie was reportedly devastated when she heard about Thornton's supposed affair, and it wasn't long before things between them started to fall apart. It was obvious that their once passionate connection was beginning to fade, and by the summer of 2002, their relationship had come to an end. The reason why Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob Thornton's love story came to an end was that the end of their relationship was just as sudden as the beginning of their relationship. In the summer of 2002, the couple quietly divorced, leaving fans and the media speculating about what had gone wrong. While Thornton stayed silent on the matter, Jolie later reflected on their split in a 2004 interview with Vogue. She admitted that they had changed too much as individuals to make their marriage work. She explained that both she and Thornton had changed so much in such a short amount of time that they no longer had anything in common. Jolie said, "In a year, I became who I am today, very much, and he became who he is today." Jolie then revealed this information in an interview with Vanity Fair in 2005. She revealed that the reason the marriage ended was because they had simply grown apart. It was just that they were going in completely different directions in life. And then one day, we just looked at each other and we had nothing to say to each other. Their relationship had changed, and they found themselves going in opposite directions. During the course of Jolie's explanation, she stated, "It took me by surprise as well because overnight we completely changed. I think one day we had just nothing in common. And it's scary, but I think it can happen when you get involved and you don't know yourself yet." Thornton, on the other hand, gradually opened up about the reasons behind their separation. In 2003, he told Entertainment Weekly that their split came out of nowhere and left him feeling confused. Comparing their breakup to a sudden disaster, he said, "It was like, say you're going to a nightclub one night with your friends, and you're in queue, and the next thing you know, there are guys with helicopters, and there's machine gun fire, and you don't know what happened. And that's kind of like what our breakup was like. Over the years, Thornton has been open about feeling out of place in their marriage. In an interview with GQ in 2016, he admitted that he never felt good enough for Jolie. Despite the fact that he was unable to pinpoint an exact reason for their separation, it was undeniable that their relationship had undergone a sudden change. Jolie was constantly traveling, attending high-profile events, and meeting with world leaders, whereas Thornton preferred to avoid the spotlight. Their lifestyles couldn't have been more different. Jolie was constantly traveling, attending high-profile events, and meeting with world leaders. Thornton, on the other hand, was more comfortable staying at home and watching baseball. He said, "I'm really uncomfortable around rich and important people," which only added to the growing distance between them. And then, in 2018, he revealed that the main reason they divorced was their drastically different lifestyles. Jolie had a global lifestyle, always traveling and involved in big causes, while Thornton was more introverted and preferred to stay inside. He admitted that we simply had different lifestyles. Hers is a global lifestyle, while mine is an agoraphobic lifestyle. Despite the fact that their relationship ended in 2002, Jolie and Thornton have continued to be on good terms with one another. They've both gone on to live separate lives, with Thornton marrying Connie England in 2014 and Jolie marrying Brad Pitt the same year, though her marriage to Pitt ended in 2016. In 2012, Jolie even wrote the foreword for Thornton's memoir, The Billy Bob Tapes, A Cave Full of Ghosts, where she spoke fondly of him. In her writing, she praised his unique personality and his struggle with agoraphobia. She described him as someone who is unable to silence the voices in their head, but she made it abundantly clear that she admired and loved him for it. Thornton has also spoken warmly about Jolie in interviews. In 2016, he shared with GQ that they continue to stay in touch, albeit not very frequently. Their relationship may have been short-lived, but there is no denying that the bond between them remains. Even after all these years, they continue to speak highly of one another, demonstrating that even though their love may have faded, their respect for each other has not. He stated that they speak every few months, and that despite the fact that they live different lives, they still connect when they talk. He even admitted that he never felt good enough for Jolie, feeling uncomfortable around the rich and important people she often interacted with. Their friendship was further highlighted in 2012 when Jolie wrote the foreword for Thornton's memoir, The Billy Bob Tapes, A Cave Full of Ghosts. She spoke fondly of her ex-husband, writing about his struggles with agoraphobia and his unique personality. Despite the fact that their romantic relationship ended a long time ago, it is evident that both Thornton and Jolie have a profound respect and affection for one another. Although their time together may have been brief, it left an indelible mark, not only on their lives, but also on the public's imagination. She described him as someone who was unable to silence the voices in his head, but loved him for it. She also added that the world would certainly be a hell of a lot more dull if that man weren't in it. The marriage that Billy Bob Thornton is currently in. You see, Billy Bob Thornton has always had a colorful love life, and by the time he met Connie England, he had already been married 5 times. However, this relationship took a different path than the others. Thornton and England first met on the set of Bad Santa in 2002, and although they were immediately attracted to one another, they did not rush into marriage. In fact, they dated for a total of 12 years before finally getting married in 2014. During that time, they kept their relationship private and avoided the public eye. This was especially important after the intense media scrutiny that Thornton faced during his high-profile marriage to Angelina Jolie. Thornton admitted that he was not in a hurry to get married again. He told Moxham in an interview in 2008 that he didn't want to put England through the public scrutiny of being number 6. However, in 2014, they decided that it was time for them to get married again. They held a private ceremony at their home in Los Angeles, keeping it away from the paparazzi and the public eye. Thornton even revealed on The Late Late Show with James Corden that they got married in their front yard with a minister in order to avoid attention. For a man who had been through several high-profile marriages, this intimate, low-key wedding demonstrated just how different his relationship with England was from his previous relationships. One of the reasons that Thornton and England's relationship has lasted is because they complement each other's personalities so well. In contrast to his wild days with Jolie, England shares a quieter lifestyle. Thornton shared in an interview with GQ in 2016 that Connie is much more his speed. Thornton has frequently described himself as a homebody, saying that he is someone who is uncomfortable around wealthy or important people. She enjoys staying at home just as much as he does, and the fact that their daughter Bella is homeschooled makes it possible for Thornton to spend even more time with them. Angelina worked in the film industry as well, providing her services as a makeup and special effects artist. She has contributed to major films such as Men in Black and Planet of the Apes, but she has maintained a much lower profile than Thornton's previous partners. Thornton has always praised her for being understanding of his unique personality. While Jolie was out meeting with world leaders and working on big causes, Angelina was happy to stay home with him, away from the limelight. Thornton once joked that their home even had a recording studio to keep him busy without leaving the house. "It is clear that their relationship is grounded in simple, everyday life," he said in an interview on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Angelina encouraged the studio addition so that he could record music at home instead of driving to a hotel. This is something that Thornton seems to value after his many failed marriages, becoming a father again, and maintaining a balanced life. Thornton and Angelina's relationship was not just about the two of them for the most part. In addition, they welcomed a daughter named Bella in the year 2004. Although Bella is Thornton's fourth child, she is Angelina's only child. Being a father again later in life was something that Thornton had to get used to, particularly because his older children were much older by the time Bella arrived. Thornton has expressed his fondness for his time spent with Bella, describing their close bond. He once mentioned that they enjoy listening to pop music together, with Bella introducing him to artists such as Christina Perri and Taylor Swift. He shared that although it took some time for him to adjust to the role of a father, he quickly got back into the groove of being a father. He also disclosed that Bella's fiery personality as a child made their relationship even more special. In fact, Thornton made the decision to get married primarily for the sake of Bella. He shared that after spending 12 years together, Bella started to wonder why her parents weren't married, which prompted them to take the step of getting married. In a sweet nod to the extent to which his daughter influenced this decision, he said on The Late Late Show with James Corden that "we did it for her." Now, Thornton is able to strike a balance between his artistic passions and his family life. The couple even occasionally makes an appearance together at red carpet events, such as the premiere of The Gray Man in 2022, where they appeared together. He told people that he tries to strike a balance between music, movies, and television, while also making time for his family. Although he continues to take pleasure in his creative endeavors, his primary focus is on being present for his daughter and wife. It's rare, though, as they both prefer their quiet, home-centered life. Thornton's relationship with Angelina seems to be his most stable yet, and it's clear that their mutual understanding and shared love for simplicity have made all the difference. For a man who once thought he'd never marry again, Thornton's bond with Angelina shows that love can take time, but it can be worth the wait. And even his ex-wife, Angelina Jolie, and he have remained on good terms, demonstrating that sometimes relationships, even those that end, can still leave room for respect and friendship. Which do you believe is more important in a long-lasting relationship? Finding someone who truly complements your personality, or finding someone who is the right time for you? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below, and don't forget to hit the notification bell, like, and subscribe to the channel for more fascinating stories.